something I didn't I have to let you know about. We earlier were experiencing some internet, poor internet connectivity, but I'm told that we are now live online. We're now live on Scar Liberia Facebook page, as well as we are also on our YouTube channel, Scar FM and TV Liberia. For those of you who usually call in to participate on the program, you can do so even by calling our WhatsApp. If you're online, use your direct credit, you want to use the internet, you can use our WhatsApp, IMO, Messenger. Our messenger is Scar Liberia. So once you can find Scar Liberia, you can just call and come through our call. Sometimes our producers, if you even did a video call, my producer is very, I don't know how to describe the guy, but he's a genius. So he can easily put you through, with your video while we're live on Facebook. So you see, you're going to be live in our video, in our Facebook live. And after your call, you may even like to go back to watch, the entire interaction. So yes, we are back online now. All of you are valuable viewers and listeners. Yes, invite someone, log on now, invite someone, share with somebody that the person join you to also enjoy the broadcast. So yes, I was talking about, some family members who called to ask about when is government going to be bringing drugs to the hospital. I said, well, I do not work with the government. So, and I cannot tell you when government is going to be taking drugs at the Telawian hospital or any hospital in the country that does not have drugs. In fact, they do not have, in fact, other medical equipment to ensure that they can go about doing their work effectively. My aunt asks, out of curiosity, the government is yet to even provide paracetamol in at the Telawian hospital or even several hospitals across the country. Why did the government reject 7,500 United States dollars from a Liberian? That's the question. She just asked. Maybe it was a question. This is not a makeup. It's not about creativity that Matthias is trying to put something together and to present, because we know that he's coming with some serious and critical analysis. So he's trying to connect some dots and to know. I actually had a conversation with my aunt. So, when she asked me all the questions, I said, well, I don't know. Government rejected it. So now, but few things, right? After that conversation, few things came to my mind. We've heard that the incident management system, the RMS, it works with it is part of it's part of MPhil. Incident management system is part of MPhil, right? I think it's a segment of MPhil, the National Public Health Institute. According to what we've heard in the news, the incident management system says that it does not want to get into the controversy of the 15,000 or 30,000 United States dollars that lawmakers are receiving in the country. It also does not want to get into the controversy of this money on grounds that the money in question does not have a clear explanation. Lawmakers have not been able to provide clear explanation. The last time I checked, I heard Representative Senator Edwin Mervyn Snow saying that the money, in fact, next budget, they're going to be stepping it up to $100,000. If the government cannot apportion $100,000 to lawmakers for legislative engagement, the lawmakers did not going to pass the budget. All right. So a lot of comments are coming. Some lawmakers are saying the money is small. Some are saying, where is this? Well, in fact, to deserve it and all of that. But the public is asking, why this money? So while talking about the money in question, by the way, like I said, we're going to be speaking with the Chair on Rules and Order at the House of Representatives, Representative Johnson N. Guacolo. As he joins us, he's going to be telling us also about this money, rules and order. Obviously, I'm not saying that he deals with ways, means, and finance, but he's going to be telling us a bit about that too. So the money, according to the Health Authority, headed by the Ministry of Health, Minister Wilhelmina Jala, Minister Dr. Wilhelmina Jala, that this money in question, it has a lot of questions on it. It's a controversial money. So the Health Ministry didn't want to get involved. The Health Authority didn't want to get involved into the controversial money. Let me first take my analysis from the first angle. All right. The Health Ministry In other words, it's saying to us that the money the lawmakers received, they do not know for a fact whether the money in question is a legal money, that the lawmakers should receive that money. That's the first thing. Secondly, the controversies surrounding this money, the health ministry does not want to get involved with that particular controversial talks that people are all putting out there in the public. All right. Then let's move on from that point. Granted, the money is a controversial money. Of course, there's been too many noise in the public and think that is all right. That is a fact that the health ministry outlined. But the money in question, according to the lawmakers, it is for legislative engagement. All right. Every lawmaker has their own interpretation about this money in question. So no wonder why the health minister said it's a controversial money. If you ask Representative Akaros Gray, he gives you a different interpretation. If you ask another lawmaker, he gives you a different interpretation. So the money generally is understood that the money is for legislative engagement. What is legislative engagement? A lawmaker who's elected, let's take it from the representative level. If you are a representative, your legislative engagement will cover your district. It doesn't have to cover every nook and cranny of your district, but at least you touch some parts of your district. They feel that the lawmaker just did some engagement with us. Another aspect of it also is that if you are a senator, your legislative engagement will cover your county. Like Montserrat County, we have Senator Darius Dillon, Senator Sir Joseph, right? Their legislative engagements will obviously cover Montserrat County. So if the two senators did their engagements effectively and they reached out to certain areas that they think need help, obviously we're going to feel the impact of this money in question. Now, let's talk about the rejection of the money. You see, politics, many times we say we don't like politics. Someone would say for me, I don't like politics. I don't want to be a politician. I'm not a politician and all of that. But it's not about someone saying whether they're a politician or not. It's about, your actions sometimes. Your actions could be seen to be political. The way you act, the way you respond to things could be seen to be political. For example, we have a situation in the country where every day people troop at the John F. Kennedy Medical Hospital. They cannot get medical supplies. They cannot get beds. Talk about medical supply. That's a big one. Let's come back to beds, part of medical equipment too, right? Let's come back to people take their family members there for treatment. They cannot get beds. People visit government hospitals. The only thing they get is that they get checked and prescriptions are made, and they get all of the prescriptions on a paper, and they tell them go and buy your drugs at a pharmacy. Meaning there are no drugs in pharmacies at government hospitals. Of course, even though there are pharmacies in every hospital, there are no drugs in government hospitals. So usually when you have to tell you, go and get it elsewhere. That's one. Secondly, you see that sometimes we even experience power outage. What happens when someone is undergoing delivery and there's a power outage at a particular hospital? What happens when someone is at a particular hospital, they're undergoing some surgical operation, there's a power outage? So the health sector of the country is poor. Mr. Darius Dillon, senator of Montserrat County, said, well, for me, this $15,000 that we've received, part of my legislative engagement, I listened keenly to Representative Akaros Gray. Representative Gray said that the money in question, whatever way a lawmaker wants to use it, however the lawmaker wants to use it, whatever he terms, or a lawmaker, an individual lawmaker may term as legislative engagement, that person can go on to use that money. So Senator Darius Dillon said, for me, I'm going to visit the Montserrat County Health team, and I'm going to share with them some of this money. So he shared with them 7,500 United States dollars. Yesterday, the health ministry made delivery of that money, returned that money because of what it terms as controversy surrounding the money. Even though there are no beds in JFK, even though most of the time we experience power outage at many hospitals, even though even health workers most of the time they complain about not getting basic things like gloves to even operate. But the government yesterday returned the money. I want to say this. I want to connect other things, right? Can we, if we were to put Darius DeLon and Satan or Lucifer, as you know, the name he was usually called, right? He was earlier called before he became Satan. If we were to put Darius DeLon and Lucifer and we stand them up and say, choose one person, who do you think you will follow? Many people will follow Darius DeLon because he's a human. He has at least a little bit of the fear of God in him, but Lucifer doesn't. That's why it is his arrogance that reduced him to a serpent, and today he's hovering the word. But this government is on record for saying that even if we were to get support from Satan, we will take it once it's in the interest of the country. You know who said that? The pro tem. That's why I want to take my time. The pro tem of an Eton loans in this country. The pro tem Abachi said, even once it is about the interest of this country, when it's about supporting, like building the economy, when it's about doing everything positive for this country, right? Wherever support will come from, we will take it, even if it comes from the belly of Satan, of Lucifer, whatever name you want to term him, we will get it. That's the pro tem, the Senate pro tem. At that time, we were talking about Ibomaf and Eton Loans. By the way, Ibomaf is a company owned by the president's friend, President George Weah's friend, who is a Burkinabe. Let me go to that one. If the Senate pro tem could say at that time that we can even get anything from the devil, but Darius DeLon is not a devil here now. To a group of people, not the entire country, Montserrat County Health Team. But then the health minister, Dr. Wilhelmina Jala, whether she was pressured by the president to return this money, return the money. But yet the government is leaving from here asking other friendly nations and organizations around the world to assist Liberia in the fight against the coronavirus, boosting the health sector. Earlier on, the government said it could even be a citizen who is a senator of Montserrat County. Okay, let me take you from the other point. If anybody is to return anything, you see, the office of the president is showing this. The president's office is showing Liberians gross disrespect. When you get elected as president, what happens is that you become the property of the state. So everything about you, what you eat, what you wear, where you travel to, how you travel, it is our responsibility. That's why we pay taxes to take care of you. But the president, President George Weah, who came to office and said, legend, by the way, he played, according to his supporters, that he had $1 million plus. But he could not ask his Burkinabe friend, Muhammadu Bonkonko, to give him a private jet to fly. Of course, many times, they may assist him 1 or 2 times during his football game, his football days, but the plane was not with him stable as the president of Liberia. Today, this Burkinabe friend of his has not seen interest in giving his plane willingly to the president to use, providing technicians to take care of the plane. The president flies a private jet. And every time he flies that jet, it costs the citizen of this country, it costs the country thousands of dollars, United States dollars. And that act of the president to use that private jet given to him by a friend while he occupies the office of the presidency is a violation of the Code of Conduct of Liberia. If anybody is to return something, not the health ministry returning $7,500 in the midst of serious health crisis in this country. If anyone is to return something, President George Weah should show respect to the citizens of this country and return the plane to the Burkinabe friend of his. That's a disrespect to the Code of Conduct. It's a disrespect to the Constitution. It's a disrespect to the intelligence of the people of this country. The president flies a private jet. Economic crisis. But he says there and instructs the health ministry, the health coerce the health minister to go on and say, listen, return that money to that man. That Darius the man, he won Thomas Fala in Montserrat. Yeah. That Darius the man, I campaigned against him, I did not win him. Obviously, these are the trivial things that the government will deal with. This president goes on expressing megalomania like he's the best president of Liberia. He's not succeeding in uniting this country. And every time certain actions are taken by the government, most of the actions are divisive, like the one that just happened. All right? The president of the Republic of Liberia cannot explain to us how he acquired condominiums. He cannot publish his asset. Something that we strongly believe as a nation that he owes us something, that he has something that's hiding from us. But the government can return $7,500 that could at least, if not buy anything, motivate the workers on the job. I'm told even the lady that returned the money, you could tell from her facial expression that she was not happy. I'm not trying to say this to put her in trouble with the health authorities, but one can tell body language could speak very clearly. Yesterday at the Capitol, you returned 7,000. What I don't know how to term this, right? I don't like, just sitting. This is a family radio program. We cannot use Sunday school words. But this is the cheapest political action I've seen so far. Cheapest political action I've seen so far. The government cannot even settle disbanded soldiers effectively. They keep raising concerns around here. The chairman of the CDC had to intervene the other day. That was a political intervention. He's traveled. The people might not even get something for the 26th. He's traveled. He's not in the country. The government could not even settle beaches and waterways workers, meaning it is challenged. But you say you're coming and made a broken economy. Liberians want to rally around to assist you in running the country, but you're rejecting money from them. I still don't understand. I still don't get the rationale behind this particular thing. All right? All right. The government is responsible for every citizen of this country. Why not the government go to Magibi County and say to Senator Nukwe that, Nukwe, please, the motorbikes you bought for the citizens of this country, take them back. Because that's how Nukwe decides to use his own money for legislative engagement fund, or his legislative engagement fund, not money for legislative engagement fund, by the way, right? So the government should also go to Nukwe and say, look, take your money. This money, it should not benefit citizens. Obviously, the money would have benefited many people at that, in Montserrat County. You return it in shame, total embarrassment. But you hear with your megalomaniac expressions and arrogance displayed by some of the officials of government that this is the best government. A government that has not unified the people, that's not succeeded in unifying the people, despite the fact that it is believed that the government won, this party won election in 14 counties of this country. Yesterday, the people of Lofa County staged protest. Some citizens of Lofa staged a protest in demand of an unconstitutional certification of Mr. Brownie Samuka. That situation is still there. Government is refusing $7,500 amidst these serious critical health crises in the country. Can someone call in this morning and tell us, in your mind, that yes, Matthias, it was necessary that the government return the money? Government did it because of X, Y, Z. It was not necessary for the government to have rejected the money because of X, Y, Z. Quickly, let me ask something. Politics, the way it is being, practiced in Liberia, I don't know whether it's childish or it's based on our emotional attachment to the things that we hold, somehow we value, sycophantically value. At the House of Representatives, the House took decision to suspend one of its members. Now this member seemed to be in a better position than the entire House, because the man took an appeal. He went to court. He took the matter to court. He went to the Supreme Court to explain Rule 40 of the standing rules of the House of Representatives. Today, while that guy is still getting advice from the House of Rep, from the Supreme Court, the House gave him a letter lifting his suspension without pay for 2 months. The man said, no. If you're lifting the suspension, explain to me in detail why. Is it because the time you gave me has expired? Why did you suspend me? Was it in a corner of long thinking? Because they now have to face Yeke Koluba at the Supreme Court to explain whether their decision to suspend him was legal and not of politics, right at the House of Representatives. I just want to add something quickly. I listened to Sheikh Imam Ali Krai. Sheikh Imam Ali Krai said, next Ramadan, if Muslims do not have holiday, there will be no peace for anyone in the country. Sheikh Ali Krai, inasmuch I am a champion for the advocacy for Muslim holiday in this country, but as we speak as citizens of this country, let us be responsible with our, because Muslims do not have holiday, meaning other people are not going to go to bed to sleep. Is that the way you want to approach the issue? Is that the way you want to, as an elder of this country, is that how you want to present the issue? This is a legal process. It's about advocacy. When the National Commission on Disability, disabled people, and got a disabled person appointed to a particular area, everything is processed. Some like-minded Liberians are in support of this particular call for the government to consider a Muslim holiday. But the way some of you Muslim leaders speak, people tend to look deep into your utterances and think about, should you get holiday, what will happen here? How can you say because Muslims don't have holiday, there'll be no peace in the country, there'll be no peace next Ramadan? But we sit and watch and see. Let's hear from you briefly. Call us now on the numbers 07777107077. Like I said, we're going to be speaking with Representative Johnson N. Guakolo. Johnson N. Guakolo is Nimba County Representative. Honorable Guakolo is also chair on Rules and Order at the House of Representatives. He joins us this morning to share with us some basic information about some rules there at the House, and so whether they are not in violation of their own rules to suspend Yeke Koluba and other actions they've taken. Let's hear you now. Call us on the numbers 077771070, 077221223, 077221223 are the numbers you can call us in to participate on the program this morning. Let's hear from this first person. Good morning,
Matthias.
911.
Good morning with you.
Thank you so much. Fine. Let's hear
I
you.
hope you have your rain gear. It's one was up, but I see it's raining.
Yeah, it's a wet weather. I'm coping.
This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
Amen.
The book of Ecclesiastes said that it's time for everything, and to everything there is a season. This is the time that we'll be able to look into our president of this Lancey George Manuel Weah that we voted for and have hope in him. Things that you're doing, it is not proper. Now, let me switch to myself. Mr. Broderick and his wife have misunderstanding. And one of his children, otherwise, is in the hospital, God forbid, seriously sick, and need blood. But only person that can give the blood is Prince Broderick, which is the father of the 5 children. Being a confusion between my wife and myself, or children, mother and myself, I would say, no, I'm not giving blood because the woman hit me, she lied on me. No, I will save the life of my child and look at it later. Not to say because the woman myself is in confusion.
What is the point? What is the point?
And that blood from the father, that's the only blood that they need for that child.
What is the point, Mr. Broderick?
Hello?
What is the point?
The point is that the president telling people refuse money, people refusing the money that needed in this country to help a lot of people. Look at the various hospitals. They cannot get paid. Look at workers that cannot pay. Look at the season is coming. Other family cannot even earn a bucket of arena that costs $500 or $250. They're coming to the harder days. Look, they have a calm word. Do not say all right for rough words. If I step on your feet, What you? Oh, Prince, why you step on my feet, Mr. Broderick? I turn around and say, oh, Matthias, I'm sorry. I said, oh, the guy on foot on the road. You can't move your foot. It will bring up confusion. Thank you. I hope the president should be wise.
Okay.
Ask God for direction. I King Solomon did.
Thank you.
911 Prince Broderick.
Prince Broderick, thank you so much. Let's move on to this other person. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, there is something calling from Central People.
Something Kape, I hold that one bucket of Gary get out because they're really season here.
No, my children they go to school. I want to eat some of the money.
And you wanted to eat Gary.
I put on, I mean, things that.
What the mama you defending proper eating Gary soon the morning for breakfast?
Oh, but not part of it, you know, we eat your purpose society.
Then some of your minister then riding expensive cars, government rejecting $7,500.
I mean,
My man, address that issue. My man, you eating Gary the morning for breakfast and you defending propo, and it doesn't seem like you got.
Listen to me. I'm not defending government. I'm looking at something objectively.
Go ahead.
You see, with the law issue, they don't have.
Samson Kape, please go ahead. All right. Hello. All right. Let's move on to this other person. Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Matthias. Good morning.
Fine, thank you. Go ahead, make your point.
Yeah, this is Abraham K. Kamara Unze calling from Pennsylvania to be specific, Philadelphia.
Go ahead, sir.
My proof to the international community that they don't need help. That the county team become most rather having to be the highest carrier of that virus, of the COVID-19. So for them to be able to reject, for them to be able to return the senator money, that is barbaric, that is unconstitutional, and that is in fact a way that they are saying that no, we don't want help at this time. Because what you did by you rejecting that money, it clearly demonstrates that you have insufficient funds to be able to take care of the county team. That's what I mean. And for our brothers and sisters who are Muslim, you know, I don't believe that such a statement is coming for such imam.
I'm telling you,
all the Muslim have to do. Ramadan Day, Tabaskin Day, don't open your store. Let the people will inform George the next day. Let all the Muslim pack their cars. You don't need to do this thing with topic. You don't need to be good threatening statement. Let all the Muslim pack their car. They say their car is.
But my brother, the thing is, you are there in Pennsylvania. I'm here. Yeah, we are here. Yesterday, you needed to see the look of Monrovia. You needed to see that. Of course, there is a holiday. Even without declaration, you could tell that yet there is a holiday currently ongoing because of the power that these people have had. Now they now have in the society, the way they control the economy. But the kind of utterances, I don't think they should come from elders.
The kind of utterances provide room for chaos, and we don't want chaos. Although I'm a Muslim, but I'm saying, look, Matthias. The best thing that the Muslim people can do for our brother and sister can do when Ramadan they can don't put your car on the road.
Okay.
Don't put your car. Let the 11 people walk. Don't open your store. Let the 11 people look for different stores.
Thank you so much.
Next day. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my brother. Let's move on to this other person here. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, Stanley, just hold the line. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Therefore, the speed of the college is civilized by the quality of most member of the National Reform and Defense of President George Madam.
My colleague, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Matthias. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Matthias, let me say this. You see, the thing with equity, we come with things. Even down below on the pillow as a man sitting down with Jesus Christ in heaven. And he told the people of most of our country that President, we are looting this country and where the economy is falling. But then you that say all those things that even in the story at the capital police allow the people of most of our country be aware except security matters. And then 50,000 people go, it was budgeted, I think, about 5 to 10 months ago. They don't refuse to understand that people are going to be coming to us.
So what is your point? Is the government right to reject the money?
My point is, they don't tell you. They were jail in and tell the people on the people that
look, listen to me. Listen, Macaulay, you and I, we've had series of interactions on radio. This is not the point of our discussion. We're talking about the government. Well, you cannot take 2 hours, 2 minutes to lay background for the point with other people on the line. Conclude your point, sir. Go ahead.
Most of other countries help me, especially the minister or health, to get back the quote-unquote.
All right, you are late, Mr. Macaulay. The health team has already given back the money. Do we have that person on the line there? Let's speak with this person there. Cornell, quickly, please go ahead.
Yeah, 2 things quickly. I want to thank you, Matthias, for the show. Always doing a very good job for Nigeria.
Go ahead.
My attention has been drawn to the statement made by the Imam. And I think as a religious leader, that was very divisive. And it really, really is an embarrassment, serious embarrassment to the religious community. In Liberia, we have coexisted as religious group, both the Christian and the Muslim and other faiths and other religious faiths. And all of the holidays that have been celebrated in Liberia, the Christian community did not ask for them. They were legislated based on the act because the governor went to the Christian community and appealed, like the fast and prayer. The people prayed. Like even the signing of the Declaration of Independence, it was in the church. So for you now to say that next Abraham Day, if we don't have a holiday, then there will be no peace, I think it is very, very divisive. And that should not be coming from a leader at that level.
Okay.
Normally, the Muslims, whatever day they have, they celebrate those days. Nobody embarrasses them. We coexist. So there is no need for that.
Absolutely, Sonley. Thank you so much, brother. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning. Maybe the last person on the line, and then we join the Voice of America for 5 minutes of news. And we'll come back, we'll speak with the chair on rules and order. You can make that conversation. Please don't do. Good morning. Good morning. All right. Quickly, let me read a few comments here. This is something we need to do justice to our viewers. Double Helena Besojala said, Whitner, Matthias, is he going to bring war on us because of Muslim holiday? Now, wow. I wonder too whether that's going to be the case. Double says, Matthias, the Liberian dress their own devil, so it would dance in front of them. Shame on Liberia government. So sad for our country. Andrew Chokon Bestman said, do we have that person? Let's take that person on the line, please. Good morning, Mr. Labindi. I think the leadership of this country is not treating the Liberian people right. May coronavirus catch all those that are ill-treating our people. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Matthias, my attention has been drawn to Senator Dawa Jalon Money Return.
What's the name, sir, and where you join us from?
My name is Josiah F. Sumo, calling from the Congo Town Peace Island.
Mr. Sumo, please go ahead.
So, Matthias, the terms the corona fight is taking, it is highly political for the anger of the government. Because from the initial stage, we have been saying, all hands on deck to fight the virus, our common enemy, that is destroying us. It was senator who took his legitimate money. It is not illegal. Then they have minister telling us the source of the money. The source of the money is change war. The source of the money is raw. The source of the money came from the Gulf direction is budget and below.
Okay.
Senator Dillon took $7,500. and give it to the Muscle Health team. Then all month, they return this money, saying the source of the money. So, for my own analysis, the corporate fight has been politicized from the executive.
Thank you so much, my brother. We have to join the Voice of America for 5 minutes of news. When we come back, we're going to open the lines to hear from you as well. We're still going to talk about this issue after speaking with the chair on rules and order of the House of Representatives. My name is Matthias.
With lower vaccination rates.
The best way to prevent the spread of COVID-19 variants is to prevent the spread of disease, and vaccination is the most powerful tool we have.
Walensky says as of last week, nearly half the eligible population was fully vaccinated, but nearly 2/3 of American counties are below 40%. Sagar Magani at the White House.
India's excess deaths during the coronavirus pandemic could be a staggering 10 times the official COVID-19 toll, likely making it modern India's worst human tragedy, according to the most comprehensive research yet on the ravages of the virus in the South Asian country. Most experts believe India's official toll of more than 414,000 dead could be significantly higher, a vast undercount thus far. And but the government has dismissed those concerns as exaggerated and misleading. The report released Tuesday estimated excess deaths, gap between those recorded and those that would have been expected, to be 3.4 million to 4.7 million since the pandemic began through late last month. This is VOA News. China on Tuesday rejected an accusation by Washington and its Western allies that Beijing is to blame for a hack of the Microsoft Exchange email system, and it complained Chinese entities are victims of damaging U.S. cyber attacks. A foreign ministry spokesman demanded Washington drop charges announced Monday against 4 Chinese nationals accused of working with the Ministry of State Security to try to steal U.S. trade secrets, technology, and disease research. The announcement that the Biden administration and European allies formally blamed Chinese government-linked hackers for ransomware attacks increased pressure over long-running complaints against Beijing, but included no sanctions. The years-long effort by state and local governments in the U.S. to force the pharmaceutical industry to help pay to fix nationwide opioid addiction and overdose crisis took a major step forward Tuesday when lawyers for local governments announced they were on the verge of a $26 billion settlement with the nation's 3 biggest drug distribution companies and the drug maker Johnson & Johnson. Billionaire Amazon founder Jeff Bezos blasted off into space on his own rocket ship for a brief suborbital flight. On Tuesday, we get details from AP correspondent Julie Walker.
Command engine start. 2, 1.
That was Blue Origin's rocket taking off from Texas with Bezos, along with his brother and also an 18-year-old whose dad paid for him to go, and an 82-year-old woman, once a NASA pilot, denied a chance to go to space because she was a woman. 10 minutes later, they all landed.
Welcome back, New Shepard.
Best day ever.
They reached an altitude of about 66 miles. That's further than fellow billionaire Richard Branson got on his space trip about a week ago. Blue Origin plans 2 more trips with customers this year. I'm Julie Walker.
According to Japanese Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga, the world needs to see that Japan can stage a safe Olympics. The country's prime minister told of sports officials on Tuesday ahead of the Tokyo Games. Tens of thousands of athletes, officials, game staff, and media continue arriving in Japan amid the local state of emergency, as well as widespread opposition from the general public to the games. There is more available at voanews.com. Via remote, I'm Tommy McNeil, VOA News.
wake up, Mama Liberia, wake up, Mama Liberia, wake up, Mama Liberia. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. And pray. Oh, let wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Oh, let try to settle things the way we need to be. In our love, control, Mama,
That's right. You're listening to Straight from the Heart and Sky 107.1. We're here again today. Today is the 21st of July, 2021, and we're just 5 days to Liberia's Independence Day celebration. I don't know what you're doing, how you're preparing to celebrate the day, but I'm quite sure that this year the celebration is going to be different given the situation we have right now in the country at the moment. I cannot state for a fact who is going to be the national orator of this year's independence. I want to check now the Executive Mansion website to see whether the government or the president has put anybody named there. Yesterday, I read through the Executive Mansion website, did not see any message to the Muslim community from the president's office. Probably he did so, but through another means. I think that is the usual thing. This year slipped the president's mind. He didn't. I'm still seeing this particular message. President, we are set up special committee on market maintenance. There's no new message yet on the Executive Mansion website during this year's, Abraham Day celebration. But just to recap quickly, we talked about the $7,500 the Health Authority. The Ministry of Health rejected from Montserrat County Representative, Representative Senator Darius Dillon. We asked about the significance of that when there are many hospitals in this country that do not have paracetamol for people to get treated. When they get to a hospital, do not even get paracetamol. You have, hospitals that most of the time we experience power outage, but yet the government is rejecting money and is going out, outsourcing fund to ensure that it supports, funds for the fight against the coronavirus in the country. So, and I also background something to give you a picture that yesterday, several months back, that was back in 2018, the Senate Pro Tem Abbott said, while trying to do Ibomab and Eton loans, that they were good loans, good loan agreements that the government of Liberia entered into with some business people, that even if the money had come from, even if support comes from the devil, the belly of the devil, the government of Georgia will take it because it has the country at heart. It wants to develop this country. So that's why I just compare whether Darius Dillon and Seton, what are the two are the same characteristics, but the government, rejected $7,500 from a Liberian simply because. So what the health ministry is saying to us that they are not sure whether the money in question that the lawmakers received, they deserve it. So the health minister has even indicted some CDC lawmakers that this your money you're talking about, a money full of controversy. We don't want to get involved in your controversial thing. This money, according to the lawmakers, is legislated. And it's for legislative engagement. So anyone can decide how to use the money. But if the health ministry is concerned about the political side of the money instead of the benefit side of the money, how this money is going to impact the health authority, then it's something that, it speaks volume to the kind of politics that we have in this country. Well, we are fighting a lot of situations in the country. We are making sure that everyone about why do you go to hospital in the name of getting treated, but you get checked, and prescription is made by the hospital, and you go into the clinic, other pharmacies, drugstores to get your drugs. But yet we are rejecting support from other people, right? We also talk about a statement made by Christ says that Ramadan, all right? He said next Ramadan, if the Muslim community have a holiday, there'll be no peace for anyone in this country. What does he say? Oh, you are appealing for something at the same time you are demanding. All right, let's see how your unconditional demand is going to play. But currently we have on the line the chair on rules and order at the House of Representatives, Honorable Johnson N. Guakolo. Honorable Guakolo, you cannot see me, but I can see you clearly. but you can hear me. So it's better we have the conversation. And, had we called you via Messenger, you would have seen me clearly, right? But we're talking to you via WhatsApp. And Honorable Guerclo is live on our Facebook feed. Honorable Guerclo, you are live on Facebook. You're live on YouTube. You're live on our radio. Hundreds and thousands of people following you around. So we need you now to educate us on the rules and order at the House of Representatives. I'm just trying now to go through my form to ensure that I get a copy, so that when you're quoting any rule, I can be able to read through it and know exactly what this rule that the Honorable is quoting. But it's a pleasure having you on this morning.
Thank you. Certainly, it's a pleasure to be with you this morning, and greetings to our listeners in Radio Land. We also like to wish them a very, very happy 26.
Honorable, where are we with the 26 celebration? Talking about 26, the house. What are you people, hearing? What are preparations? Because usually, I think the House, the Executive Committee, the executive of the House of Representatives gets involved in the preparation. Where are we? What have you heard?
Well, we have not heard anything yet. We still are holding sessions. So we'll go out there today and just, have interaction with one another to see what is obtaining on the 26th. Tomorrow we have session, and perhaps at that time we'll be officially informed by the chairman and executive on the manner in which the 26th will be celebrated this year. But so far we don't have any official information whatsoever through the executive committee of the legislature.
Okay.
The House of Representatives.
All right, thank you, sir. And you chair a very technical committee, like other committees. That yours is also technical, because you remind the people, on the rules, how to govern themselves, with the rules of the House of Representatives. But first, tell us about your responsibility. How does your position impact or operate in the House of Representatives as chair on rules and order?
Well, thank you. We are the general administrator of the Honorable House of Representatives. We ensure that, like you correctly said, the rules are adhered to, people perform within the scope and dimensions of the rule established by the House. We also ensure that logistical support provided to the House of Representatives. We ensure that the staff is adequately attended to. We ensure that, they receive their compensation on time and is, equitable. We ensure that, the cleanliness of the building, facilities that need to be provided so that the work of the legislature will go on, particularly the House of Representatives. So we are the administrative arm of the day-to-day operation. And, we are excited about it. We engage all the lawmakers, all 73, from the speaker down to everybody else, to ensure that their conduct, the ways and manner in which they act, they behave, the staff, because they are an extension of our offices, the way and manner in which they behave, reflects the honorability of the House of Representatives.
You talk about rules and order. Yes, thank you for giving me, a synopsis of your operation. But what is there? Is there any pride in the office you occupy? When the last time I checked, the House of Representatives usually experience power outage. The last time I checked, the House of Representatives, there are some areas there, their leakages are ongoing. Then how can you say your office, how proactive is your office in ensuring that it executes its own responsibility when the House that governs the country, that makes the laws, has the many challenges that ordinary Liberians are faced with? What is the problem? What's causing that?
Well, like you say, there are challenges everywhere all the time. And I'm not going to speak to the activities of the past, particularly those who were in the responsibility. What we are reflecting on now is, and we've done an assessment of the leakages that you talk about. We've gotten a cost estimate. We've looked at the building itself, the water situation into the building. We've looked at the power outages that we experience. And so all of those are being mitigated as we speak. We have a standby generator, such that when LEC is out, then we flick on the standby generator, provide a fuel for it, and then we put it on. So you will experience fewer outages. At times, the LEC itself, for example, will come on. Then after 30 minutes, it goes off. Then before we get a generator on, it counts. But other than that, the standby generator. We contacted a water expert to come and do an assessment. Is on rocky ground. So the challenge is to find water vein in the terrain. So we contracted the services of a gentleman who has done a survey and is to report to us either today or tomorrow, so that we can begin to do a borehole and provide water into the building, running water into the building. So those are some of the mitigations that we are doing. We are hopeful that as we pass the budget will be executed with these things in mind, so that our services, our logistical support, the environment of the building would be properly attended to.
Honorable Graclo, the last time Representative Richard Kong bought a generator and took it at the Capitol building, symbolizing that the Capitol is dark, the Capitol building is dark, so he will electrify his own office. That was not basically something that he would have provided electricity at the house there. It was just demonstrating that, well, this is a situation we are faced with. I want to know, how much is there in the budget for maintenance of the House of Representatives?
Okay, we have what you call operational, line. The line that is operational, and in that line, we provide for maintenance. There are specific lines that goes to, for example, maintenance of equipment, and there are general line that captures the operational activities of the Capitol building. Those things that are not specifically provided for. And so when the budget is passed, then we know exactly what has been approved. But I know the operational line is to the tune of at least 3 million or so, because even to
33, did you say 33 million or 13?
Yeah,
3 million for maintenance.
3 million.
Okay.
To repair the dome, for example, to repair the dome of the Capitol building will eat up $1 million easily. You see. Yeah, so those are the kinds of things we are considering.
Sorry, sir. One of the embarrassing area, at that house right now, sir, is the joint chamber. Why is it like that? It's poor. It doesn't represent, a House of Representatives where elders of this country sit down to make decisions about the country. So much leakages, and it doesn't represent you people at all. Don't you think that you people have been too slow in making sure that you give that place a facelift to represent all of you noble men and women in that house?
I agree with you. It doesn't represent the state, the official seat of the first branch of government. You go in there are leakages. That's what we're talking about. So we are making a conscious effort, intentional decision, to attend to these concerns, hopefully starting this special budget year, so that, because all of those have been flagged, they have been costed. We've done an estimate to determine how much it would take for us to do this intervention. So as we approve this special 6-month budget, we'll start the process. We may not complete it, but at least we'll get it to the point where we begin to see changes, in the infrastructure of the building, because it's dangerous too. One day the doom could cave on us, and what kind of message would that send? So all of us, the speaker, everybody, the Senate, everybody, we're looking at that with a critical view to take some corrective measures beginning this special budget year that we are doing, this 6-month special budget.
Honorable Graclo, the public, the Liberian public, I don't think it is as gullible as many people describe it most of the time. People are questioning, on what basis the two people receive $15,000 each. And here we are talking about the deplorable look of the House of Representatives, where our elders sit to make decisions. Which one is more of a priority to you people, the $15,000 for legislative engagement or the maintenance of the House of Representatives?
Yeah, like I said to you, I'm not going to get into the past with you. From the past is an experience that helps the present. The future is the outlook that also helps the present. Yeah, so what happened in the past has happened. We can undo that.
What is in the past? What is in the past? The recipient
listen
of, yeah.
Listen. What we can do now is to look into the future and see how our expectations of the future can affect our performance in present day. So our expectation for the future is to ensure that a building where we are seated as the first branch of government is elevated in terms of the infrastructure, the wholeness, the integrity is restored, and rehabilitating the dome, the joint chambers is one of those things. And we, as a legislature, committing ourselves to the process that when this special budget is passed, we begin to take the corrective measures that needs to be taken to do those things that we need to do. Now, on the 15,000, you have to look at things from various perspectives. I can say without any doubt that the legislature, whether rightfully or wrongfully, has become like a quote-unquote market dog. Anybody can just beat them. Why are you beating them? They don't know. You see? So a decision was made that after 4 years without legislative support that was in previous administrations, after 4 years, a decision was made that, look, you have to, because every lawmaker is subsidizing government. I can say that because, all of us, even if it is one hand pump you are building in a community, you are subsidizing government. You see? So a conscious decision was made. Let's provide some assistance to help the lawmakers with their engagement in the different communities. Now, what is important, and I must flag this, is to receive this money, what are you doing with it? That is very important, you see? And so all of us, the onus is on us to demonstrate to our people and our citizens that, yes, we have been looking for assistance. We have gotten assistance. Let's go and utilize it to the benefit of our district. That is very important.
So this money in question is based on a decision that was made by the lawmakers that after 4 years with our budgetary support, legislative support, project, and so the lawmakers should receive such amount, and so. But how do you spend it? I want to know about the expenditure. You determine as a lawmaker how you use the money, or there are certain guidelines?
Yes, that's correct. Every lawmaker is applying that, in his or her district. Let's get to district number 9, Nimba County, for example. At the onset of the administration and through our various monthly, periodic engagement with our citizens, they tell us what they want. Yes, they tell us what they want. You go out there in this place, they tell you, oh, we need school building. There's no school building. We need school building. You go to this place, they tell you, we need this, we need that. So we have been doing that on our own. For example, we build schools, we started schools, we constructed schools, we've constructed hand pumps, we've constructed bridges, and all those on our own. So in an instance where we have gotten some support, as indicated, it is only wise for us to continue to engage our people with those things they want. With those things they want. Let me make a disclosure here. Yes, at the onset, we look at the crossing point between Nimba County and Bong County. The shortest distance to electoral district number 9, specifically Yahweh Mesno. We have been going through there, passing through Ganta and Seklepe, which is the long route. But now, with support, we have commenced the construction of a ferry that will carry and convey vehicles to cross that river. What does it do? It enhances and stabilizes transportation between, other parts of the country and electoral district number 9. Now, if it used to take me 8 hours to get to electoral district number 9, this time when the ferry is constructed and completed, it will take me half the time. I might use up to 4 hours to get to the district, and more to that. It help to improve the economic activities of our district, because getting to market areas now will be much more quicker, and then transportation will be much enhanced. So those are the kinds of things that I'm sure all district people are doing all around this country with this money they have received. Now, it would be foolhardy if you were doing things on your own, then government help you, then you put the money into some other use. No, I can vouch for every lawmaker in this country that indeed the fact that they have been subsidizing government by doing different projects on their own, with this amount, they will do something to improve the lives of our citizens in their respective districts.
Okay, so this money in question, sir, I still want to get back to you a little bit. Is $15,000 you get in an event where you get budgetary support, legislative, I don't know how you term it, in an event where the government includes you in a budget where lawmakers get legislative support, every fiscal year, you would not be needing this particular amount after 4 years. Is that the case?
No. Yeah, not need that at all, because it's not both support mechanism. No, this one, it was either or, because in past regimes, past administration, they received and they enacted the legislative earmark project to help general government, because the 73 districts government is not there at all times. So in the wisdom of the government at the time, they said, well, let's help the lawmakers to do a project that will be an extension of national government activities. If you build one bridge in your district through this project, then government has supported you. So they provided approximately 70,000 per lawmaker. The records are there at Finance Ministry and LACE. By the time they went through the different tax situations and fees and so forth, it amounted to about 68,000 per district per year. I believe they provided this amount about four times, during the last administration, every year for 4 years, if I'm not mistaken. But to continue this administration that started 4 years ago, government said they did not have the money. So we said, okay, fine. If that's the case, then bring half of it, which was 30,000 or so, up to present. That was not available until this budget year that is ending. That's when the provision was made and said that, well, then let's provide this amount, to help you all, in lieu of the 68,000 that was provided in the past. So in future budget arrangements, if that restoration is made, where they will provide us legislative support project amount, then you don't need legislative engagement, because that's the same principle, to help you, help the district in implementing projects to the benefit of the district.
What I don't get here, sir, is that the money in question you get is for your district, isn't it? The one you were getting initially before you told the government to give you half of it. It's for your district, right?
Yes, it's for the district.
It's for the district. So the two lawmakers, you as chair on rules and other, the two, by the way, personally, I want to ask you this, an individual question. Did you have a conversation with your district before getting back to the government to say, okay, since you cannot give us the total money we usually get, bring us half of the money? Because by negotiating for half of the money, it means you are representing your district's interest in that discussion. Was that the case, sir?
In our discussions, yes. In our town hall meetings, we've made reference to that. In our, even the district sitting that we had some time ago, we made reference to that. The county officials were even there and said, look, we had this support in the past, but unfortunately, we don't have it. In fact, critics of me have been saying, oh, the honorable saying, they gave money in the past and I gave. I said, well, it's not what I'm saying. It's what it is. You see. So it is in this case that we are lobbying for us to get, some amount, that we can use for the district. So people in the district are aware that the money that we used to get, the lawmakers used to get in the past, we in this administration have not gotten it. And this is the first time that direct government assistance has come to the lawmakers to say, this is legislative engagement. And it is the term is legislative engagement because every time a lawmaker goes into the district, you are expected to get engaged with your citizens, for you to work together in terms of what they desire. So like I said earlier, everywhere I go, they want market hall, they want road, want this. We've started some of it already. We've done clinics, we've done schools, we've done school benches, we've worked on this and so forth.
Okay, so let me inform you quickly, folks, that we are having a conversation with Nimba County Representative Johnson Grakolo. He's on the line. He's, by the way, the chair on Rules and Order at the House of Representatives. Honorable, quickly, this may sound a bit trivial, but most of the time we hear these things from people, the public there, because they bring the load on our heads and we present them to the relevant authorities. Do you have any specific thing in your order, rules and order, that speaks about dress code? Is there a specific way that lawmakers should dress to go to work?
Yes. Lawmakers are required to meet a certain set of dress code. T-shirts are not allowable. Short pants are not allowable. Just to be slack, where you wear jeans, and you slack like you on a Saturday walk around. No, those are not allowable. You are expected to have a minimum of what you call smart casual, meaning, for example, the shirt I have on is not a coat suit, but it's a regular shirt, lapa shirt that is neatly prepared. It's casual, but it's not, it's not undesirable, and up to like coat suits. And the women are to also dress in, if you dress in pantsuit, it should be a presentable pantsuit that will not define your structure, in a way and manner that will be provocative. So those are the kinds of things that we encourage our people to do, and the dress code is spelled out in the rule book.
Okay, so in an event where someone breaches that particular, procedure, what happens? What do you do as chair on Rules and Order?
Well, if my own administrative strategy is to just walk up to you and say, colleague, today you are not properly dressed. So kindly, go and redo your dress code and come back. That's the first step I would take. And so if you insist and you put up resistance, then now we invoke the law, the rule book, and then take the action that is appropriate and ask the Sergeant at Arms to simply just ask you to step out, until you can come back in properly attired. Like, for example, yesterday, we are in a coronavirus situation now. So we expect every lawmaker here to wear their mask. So when I entered the chambers yesterday, I saw some of the colleagues, they had their mask halfway, some didn't have it. I got pieces of masks, took it to them just quietly. And I said, oh, you don't have a mask today, put this on. Or please, wear your mask properly. There was no noise. Everybody, appreciated that. And that's the way, we conduct ourselves.
Okay, let's look at this, Yeke Koloba, thing. I'm told that you people acted, against Yeke Koloba based on the fact that he was always using invectives and all of that. The action that the House took against Representative Koloba, is it in line with your rules and order?
Yes, it is in line. Yes, it is in line with the rules. The rule clearly defines the deportment and behavior that is acceptable to the House. Now, Yeke infringed, the Honorable Yeke Koloba infringed that. Now, the argument has been on two sides. One says, well, if Honorable Koloba abused the president, then let the president take action. True. The individual that is the object or subject of the abuse can take individual action. It's up to them. But we as a House, also the rule provides that we will take or should take action if any of our colleagues' behavior brings us into disrepute. Honorable Yeke Koloba is a colleague. Now, for a colleague to be using vulgarity, to be using expletives, and invective is not correct. It's not acceptable. Whether the person acts or not, it is left with the House to take the appropriate action. And it's based upon that the action was taken against Honorable Yeke Koloba for suspension that amounted to 2 months without pay and benefits.
I currently have your rules and order here, your rules before me. Would you mind, quoting for me a particular public?
Well, unfortunately, it's in my office. I don't have it with me here at home where we are doing the interview. But if you go to, I think it's on Rule 42, Rule 42 or thereabouts, you will see described by the rule book that goes against people who will use abusive language, as an honorable man.
Okay, so now I have Rule 42 here. It speaks about prestige and dignity of the house. 42.1 says every member shall, at any place, keep the prestige and dignity of the house and refrain from undesirable acts. Undesirable acts in this context, Honorable Graclo. How do you explain that? How do you explain undesirable acts? Let's deal with that first.
Undesirable act, one undesirable act will be use of abusive language.
But who determines an undesirable act? Because this undesirable you didn't spell out, except for 42, 42.2 that says no member shall insult, abuse, or harass other persons within the confines of the house or cause disturbance to the activities of the house. Has Representative Koluba caused any disturbance to the activities of the house, thereby obstructing the operation of the house at any point in time? Has he insulted anyone in the confines of the House of Representatives?
The answer to that question is yes.
Okay, let's deal with disturbance of the house first.
The first rule you read sets the stage, to define. Then further down, it defines, some of those undesirable behavior. It is it's on characteristics of a lawmaker to stand in the compound and abuse anybody. You see, whether it is the president or it is the worker or it is even somebody that is in the street. No, honorable person should not do that. And Honorable Yege Koluba is in the constant habit of doing that. That is the reason for which Honorable Thomas Fowler filed the petition against Honorable Yege Koluba and was investigated. The outcome was that he should be suspended for the time period that he was suspended for.
Okay, I'm going to deal with the punishment quickly, sir, but let's go back to this particular part of it. You talk about, undesirable acts, and it's spelled out, but you also made mention of the fact that disturbance to the activities of the house. At what point in time did Representative Koluba disturb the activities of the house? Would you mind please sharing with us?
I'm not sure if I say he disturbed the house. I'm just saying that he used abusive words, languages on the compound.
Okay, so
even outside of the compound, that is not acceptable under our rules.
So as a lawmaker, be it in your district or outside of your district, be it at the House of Representatives or even in your community, your comportment should always be, deportment should always be, that of representative of an honorable person. That's the point you're making.
Yes.
So if community elders, if community residents see a lawmaker behaving in a certain way, can they report that person to the House Rules and Order Committee for action?
Yes. If any of us behaves in a disorderly manner, and there are standards that society sets for our behavior, and behavior should not be legislated because we should know, in our own communities, our elders, the way we conduct ourselves are defined by, society. But for modern day, we define that under the rules, so as to govern us. So even in a community, if you go out, if I was to go out in my district, God forbid, and I misbehave, I'm insulting everybody there, the community has a right to come and approach the speaker, and say, well, this lawmaker comes out here and insults us. Then the rules and order will conduct an investigation, and based on the findings, the appropriate actions will be taken.
Appropriate action in this context is determined by the House, right? It is based on what the House sees fit to take the action the House sees fit to take against a particular lawmaker based on a particular act. Is that the case?
Yes, and it comes from written warning to suspension to even expulsion, depending on the gravity, of the situation.
All right. So Representative Koluba's suspension has been lifted. Is that the case?
Yes, it has been lifted. Yes, it was for May 18th to July 19th. So he has been formally informed that the suspension is lifted. So tomorrow we expect to see Honorable Koluba in session.
While you are expecting to see Representative Koluba in session, he's also expecting you people to send representatives at the Supreme Court, because he still seeks explanation for the action you people took against him. Is the House going to be represented there?
Yeah, clearly the House will be represented there. We received the citation for conference, and so we are going to appear tomorrow through our representation. Well, what we don't understand is, again, maybe when we get there, it's on a adequate sub judice, so we can discuss it. But the action is calling for prohibition, prohibition. So we will get out there and get a clear understanding of what this prohibition means, and then the justice in chambers, through the conference, will make a determination, and life goes on.
He's calling for a prohibition of a suspension.
I believe that's what he's calling for, prohibition of the suspension, because he said, that his suspension is over and we didn't allow him to come to work. And I said, wow, Yega Koluba didn't show up at the building anywhere, anytime that he was driven away. So how can he say that? But again, those are issues that will be brought to the justice in chambers tomorrow. We cannot get further into it, before we are held in contempt of court.
I tell you, folks, there you have it. You have Representative. You have that wise old man there, Representative Johnson Gregory Akolo is on the line. He's speaking to me via WhatsApp. Let's quickly hear from you now, listeners, briefly, maybe the lawmaker may take some of your concerns, your questions, as well as some comments you may want to make adding their rules and all of that. Join us now on the numbers 0777-777-107, 0777-221-223, 0777-221-223. The numbers you can call us and to participate on the program this morning. You're listening to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. We have Representative Johnson Gregory Akolo of Dimba County. He's on the line. He's the chair on rules and order at the House of Representatives. Let's hear from this first person here on the line. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Please go ahead. Hello. All right. So yeah, you just have to make your, make some adjustment, from your end and just get through. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, Mr. Harris. Go ahead.
Good morning to the public. My name is David E. Harris, and I call from Conjunction Road.
Go ahead, David.
Yeah, Matthias, I listened to the honorable man. He did say something about his district or his constituency. Are people requesting that they need schools, they need this, they need that? But my question to him, the schools he talked about, is he building the school for the district to turn it over to the district, or is it a personal initiative for his school? The next thing I have to do with, you get me, Matthias?
Yeah, I'm getting you.
I say, is he building a school for his personal use, his personal property, or he's building to turn it over to the district?
Okay.
The next thing I have to do with the 15 kids that they took away, that they took home. I'm calling on the honorable man and his other friends at the house to see reason to put at least 2,000 United States dollars together to see about the roof issue at the house there. Because our government is complaining that they don't have money. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah, he's recommending that the lawmakers contribute money to fix the roof at the House of Representatives. But Honorable Gregory, just hold on. We're still talking to more people. Let's hear from this other person. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. All right, let's hear from this other person.
You are building in a community.
Hello. But that person is now on the line, guys. You got to get him. Let's move on to another person. Good morning. All right, call us in the numbers 0777 107 0777 221 223. All the concerns you have about rules and order at the house, and let's hear from this other person. Good morning,
Matthias.
Yes, sir.
Matthias, this is Liberia, and let me address the issue of the Muslim leader.
No, sir. We have currently on the line the chair on rules and order, so we may just have to get back to you. We've highlighted a number of things. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, big brother Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
My name is Lawrence. I probably joined you from the Ghana this morning.
Thanks for joining.
Resident citizen for District number 9, Lima County.
Resident citizen. Go ahead. Go ahead.
My question to the honorable mayor, Honorable Johnson Berkeley. Yeah, thank you ever so much for representing us in the district. But since you told the 15th, are you ever called the citizens for town hall meeting to share then the reason for which the 15K was taken by you people in the house there? If so, then you said that you have started project in the district. Which project you have taken in the district that you have consulting your citizens to know that you are taking project? You have capital last year on the 15 people. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning. Good morning. If you're live there, you're on our line. You have to just make your point. I will move on to another person, sir. Hello. All right. Call us on the numbers 0777 777 107, 0777 777 107, 0777 221 223. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Yes, I'm Lawrence Kimaya, speaking from Ben Street, Stava Hill.
Mr. Kimaya, go ahead.
For me, it's always a resource. I want all of you to get back to do that because they are saying that it's under my intelligence list. You are not running a technical project like public works. You have the public work, you have the list. So we have the pandemic. Why is it a waste of money to you people? And you are not making laws. That's my own disappointment. But again, you people, you are accused of just getting money, saying not making laws and that. I think you people have had a license from us. I think you should get into the assembly and work up a resolution so that the executive should not spend money for it. We see that it's a waste of money. That money should be done for hospitals, for schools, for the road development. We don't have good roads. Look at what happened at the accident of the boat wreckage that was carrying testing material to Maryland. Use of money. It's law making all-time representative that what you are telling check executive. We did executive be loaned. That is, they gave you mandate and you are the first branch. So thank you very much.
Thanks. Let's hear from this other person on this other side of the line. Mr. John T. Pele, please go right ahead.
Good morning and good morning, Liberian people and our honorable lawmakers.
Go ahead.
Let me appreciate the lawmaker for the work he's doing in the country. For me, I'm really proud of them. You know, they say when the shoe is not on, if you don't know the pain. To me, they are doing extremely well. When what I think we need to do is to encourage them to do more. I'm not going to the lawmaker, right? To talk to his colleagues. He said that money being 30,000, that reduced to 25,000. The extra 5,000 in all of these counties. There are government workers, there are people that are volunteering from the health sector, from the education sector, who are not on the regular payroll. That extra fund could go around to help those people also. Because, government cannot employ everybody. And government get a lot of work for the Liberian to do, but they don't have the work. So that will help. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the contribution, Mr. Pele. Let's move on to this other person on the line. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. You are live. You are live. I'm getting you. Yeah, you are live. Go ahead.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm getting you. Go ahead.
Hello.
Oh wow! It seems this person is not getting us from the.
I'm not hearing you.
Oh my, that's a sad one. Wow.
Are you hearing me?
Yeah. Go ahead. Just make your point.
Okay. Good morning, Matthias. Good morning.
Go ahead.
I just want to the honorable thank for his explanation. My concern is the rules they are dealing with. How old are the rules, and how often do they make changes in the room as time goes by?
Okay, that's a
then
good
my
point.
second point is if you say people are held responsible for behaving disorderly. I remember some time ago there was an argument between the bully and another man, and there was an exchange of heated argument and abusive languages were used. What disciplinary action did the House Standing Committee on Rules take against those two gentlemen? Thank you.
Thanks for the contribution on the program this morning. So I think we have to, can we squeeze in one more? Okay, no problem. We have to leave it like that. Honorable Graculo is on the line. Let's give him some time to respond. Let's begin with the last concern. How old are the rules, and how often do you people review the rules to ensure that, you know, they meet current day reality? Honorable Graculo is muted, please.
Because yeah, laws and rules evolve, you know, and are supposed to correspond to the present day realities. So, but the 53rd, the rules that govern the 53rd were looked at and were supposed to be amended to fit the 54th. What we are in the legislation is the 54th. So we passed at the onset of the 54th, we passed so that the 53rd, the rules will govern us. But the rules were sent to the committee room to further look at it, you know, to make a representation and make some amendments. Unfortunately, that has not happened yet. We are still awaiting the committee's report so that if there are any other amendments that we need to make to suit the 54th in the context of the 53rd rules, then we'll do that. But, you know, I'm sure we'll act on that before this tenure is over. And so that's a very good question. Because some things that happened in the past may not be applicable now, and some things that should be applicable now need to be reflected in the rules. So the point is well made.
What action did the House take against the two lawmakers that had an argument in the House there?
Yes, the two lawmakers had an argument. We got involved because unfortunately none of them filed a petition or a complaint to the House. They just had it among themselves. So the Rules and Order Committee got involved, you know, unofficially, and said, well, colleagues, the behavior is not correct. You see, so what we need to do is you have to reconcile among yourselves so that we cannot continue to behave this way. And so both parties did that, and, you know, the camaraderie has been restored. If any of them have filed a formal petition, then we would have dealt with it officially and made an official decision, you know, so as to move and mitigate the situation. But it didn't happen. But we got involved into it on our own, you know, because our colleagues should not conduct themselves in that manner.
So in other words, you're saying in the absence of a complaint, you people will sit there and watch things happen without taking action, except you intervene and tell them to settle. You cannot punish anyone until another person complains.
Yes. That's the general tendency, you know, because we, quote unquote, we will not go look for case, but notwithstanding, if we see any of our colleagues misbehaving, informally we'll get involved and say, look, that's not a way to do things, you know, and so refrain from that. You know, if it continues, then, you know, the House leadership will have to take a decision. But on a committee on our own, we intervene and the matter is amicable now.
Okay, so would you consider recommending to your colleagues to at least reduce this money from 30,000 to 25, so that the other 5,000 can go to other health workers that are working voluntarily without getting something, you know, even though you were receiving initially? Yeah.
Yes, that is a good point, and I think this kind of engagement is much constructive. You see that because you know, let me say this: when we go to this engagement, like somebody said, our duty is to make laws and to advocate. In my own instance, we advocated to the extent that, you know, the road that's a major road in the district from Tapeta to Zigepa to Gnankwe. Public Works is doing that, you know, but Public Works has slowed down to the extent that when I go there, I'm called upon to intervene and mitigate a broken bridge. Do I wait, you know, for Public Works to pick up, or do I find means, you know, to fix that bridge so that the road will not be cut off altogether? So those are the kind of challenges that we face, and that's why the rationale was there for this engagement amount. Yeah, but, you know, it should be refined. forward looking. Once you look at it, I think there's a second suggestion. Somebody called me personally and said, well, tell your colleagues, maybe you can get together, contribute $200, $300, $500, whatever it is, do something collectively, either for the health sector or even for your own building that is there, so that water can come into the building. I think that's the way forward. I think everybody learns, from their experience. So this experience, as is, it has happened. We have to learn from it for the betterment of the country so that we can move forward.
Okay, another person.
Somebody.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes,
I think you remember your concerns. Go ahead. Just respond to them quickly.
Yeah. Somebody asked a question that if we build a school, it will be for us personal. No, is it that's a public school? The town did not have school at all, so they asked us, and that school has been constructed. No, it will not be a private school. It's over to the community, turned over to the community. The education sector has been informed about it, so they can step in and take over. For example, the clinic that we advocated for that was constructed, the clinic was turned over to the county health team. They have taken over that, and they are using it, to assist patients in our area. So those are the kind of things that are obtaining, in our very locality. What is important on this to emphasize on this level? We should be in this, and I say no. We who have supported activities in the district on our own will not get a support and sit on it. No. What should be required of us, and most of us do that, is the periodic report that is clear, written. Numbers are placed in there. What did you get? How did you use it? On what did you use it? And people go out there to tangible things that have been done. We have a radio station. We constructed that on our own. But again, we could choose for it to be our own. We said, no, we are going through the registration process now so we can turn it over to the community so it can become a community radio. 100% supported by myself, but I'm not going to hold on to it and say, oh, I'm a radio station. No, it's a community project that will turn over to the community. So these are some of the things that are obtaining in the place.
Okay, Honorable Graclo, we don't have the luxury of time. We have to go now. But it's just that some other people think that, well, this money in question, of it, there's no need for you to. Now, I listened to one of your colleagues who said, you people don't, if you must give a report regarding this money, it will be out of courtesy. It's not going to be, based on demand, that is going to be based on responsibility. It's going to be based on courtesy. But yes, quickly, in 1 minute, sir, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate you for joining us on Straight from the Heart this morning. We appreciate it so much. Representative Graclo, in just 45 seconds, please conclude. Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Yeah, in just 45 seconds.
Pleasure to be with you this morning, and we always say thank you to you all for our people. We look forward to this, regardless of how the discussion goes. It's intended, to improve our services to our people. It is in.
Exactly, that's technology, and we thank you so much, Honorable Graclo. We appreciate you for joining us. Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, Honorable Graclo, Johnson Graclo there, Graclo. All right, thank you. So we have to go. Yes, there's a limited time. We thank you so much, Honorable Johnson Graclo. We appreciate you for joining us this morning. You listened to it. You two have been having some issues, but at least maybe you've gotten some information. I want to use this message as a motivational message this morning from Rosa Parks, a young graduate of the University of Liberia. The lady said, being wanted by a lot of men will never compare to being valued by just one person. Today, since during the evening time, women take possession of the night and says, ladies' night. A beautiful lady, if you step out there and you see that all the gentlemen around there, I say, wow, she's beautiful. I like her. I want her. That does not all of them going to value you the same way. But what is more important is that you get that one person that loves, cares, and cherishes you, and then that person will treat you tenderly. My name is Matthias Labindi.
Only like we try to settle things the way we need to be. Maybe it's all we need in our
Asia Pacific editor Michael Bristow.